Hello folks, welcome back to OnlyLeedsbros for player ratings. This time Leeds United versus Hull City. Before we get into the video, guys, it is sponsored by O'Reilly's Autographs. Go check them out on Instagram. Genuine Leeds United memorabilia. And if you do use the discount code The Final Point, you will get a 10% discount on all Leeds United memorabilia. So go check that out. So Leeds United did travel to the MKM Stadium on Saturday, 3 o'clock, to face their Yorkshire rivals, Hull City. Leeds United sitting top of the tree by 3 points in the championship table. Hull City inside the relegation zone by 1 point. Hull City had got the home worst record in the championship and the fewest goals scored in the division. Step forward, Leeds United. The game did end 3-3, and we will dive a little bit further when we do get into the player ratings. But we will look elsewhere at promotion challengers. Burnley did win 1-0 to their rivals, Blackburn at Ewood Park. Good result for them, seeing them pick up 3 points and are right behind us now in the championship table. And then also Sheffield United with a good 2-1 win away at Watford. So Leeds United do sit top of the championship table still, but by a single point, and it just feels like over the last 2 games, it could have been more. Leeds United have only picked up a possible 2 from 6, so not a good return for Leeds United. So we will dive into it a little bit further, guys. First of all, we'll get to the goals. Obviously, the first one, Hull City did go 1-0 up within the first couple of minutes. Ball played straight through, the defence wide open, and Purdue rode on, pushed right over to the right-hand side. Bowers caught out as well. The ball's in behind there. Abdul Kamara. Meslier makes the decision to come out, puts himself in no man's land outside the 18-yard box, and a lovely little dink by Kamara to put Hull City 1-0 up and really put Leeds United on the back foot. That first half performance from Leeds United was probably one of the worst we've seen this season. Really poor, very ineffective, lacked creativity, lacked tempo, lacked quality on the ball. Just a really, really poor and frustrating first half for Leeds United. So you're expecting Leeds going in at half-time, Daniel Farke maybe to shake it up with a few substitutions. He didn't. Came back out with the same starting 11, and we've seen a totally different side that first 20-25 minutes. Tanaka grabs his first goal for Leeds United with a brilliantly whipped shot into the top corner. Sublime finish for Tanaka, but then it was overshadowed by what was to come. So Leeds United did pick it up, moved into second and third gear then, really put it to Hull City, and seeing Leeds United take the lead. Brilliant work from Manor Solomon on the left-hand side with the lovely ball across the box, missed by everyone. Goes out to Jaden Bogle, who cuts it back to Dan James, who has a tap in into the net and an easy finish for him, who what was an ineffective day but did get his goal. So seeing Leeds United go 2-1 up and turn around what was a really poor first half performance. Things got better for Leeds United with a poor lapse in concentration by the Hull City goalkeeper. Poor pass out to Joe Pirro. And Joe Pirro does what Joe Pirro does, gets inside the 18-yard box, smashes one across him and puts Leeds United 3-1 up. And at this stage, you're thinking Leeds United really have control of this game. We're used to seeing Daniel Farke's tactics, risk averse, keep the ball, nothing silly, and we were anything but that then. We start giving away free kicks outside that box, conceding multiple corner kicks, giving them an opportunity to put the ball into the net. And the next up to see was another calamity for Illan Meslier, free kick just outside the box. Meslier decides to come as the ball is clipped in. The header is won, and then you see him trying to backpedal. The ball is about to go over the crossbar, and you're just thinking at that stage, just tip it over the bar, concede the corner kick, and we'll reset. For whatever reason, Meslier decides to pan the ball back down to the 6-yard box, and it's an easy tap in for Pedro. It's 3-2 then, and then you can really feel the pressure on Leeds United. Then you could see Hull City's tails are up, and they were really, really honest then. Again, after that, you're looking for Leeds United. You're still 3-2 up, probably manage the game a little bit better, keep the ball. And again, we did anything, but we were still trying to force it. We just kept giving it back to Hull, giving them the incentive to come forward and take us on. And then the inevitable happened then with the third goal as well. Corner kick comes in. Sam Boyer brilliantly wins the header. Meslier again decides to come out, leaves himself again in no man's land. Abdul Kamara is at the edge of the box with, again, the questions do have to be asked. Who's picking him up at the edge of the box? He takes it down, has a strike very much down the centre of the goal. Illan Meslier is way out of position, and Hull City grab a point. And after that, then you're thinking, with still a couple of minutes to go, their tails are up. Leeds United didn't really look at it, and then the fear of God is in you that they might go get a fourth and go win the game, but it did end all square. So we are going to get into the player ratings now, guys. First of all, we will start with Illan Meslier, and as you expect, probably the lowest player rating I'm going to give this season, lads. I'm going to give it 2 out of 10 for Illan Meslier. He was involved in all 3 of the goals. A couple of mistakes as well during the game. There was one, Hull City, when they hit the post down the left-hand side, the ball whipped across. He comes past his front post, completely misjudges the ball, goes right to the back stick. I think it's Jacob then that hits the post for Hull City. They should really be taking a 2-0 lead. So really, really bad game all around for Illan Meslier. The second one is an absolute howler. What he's thinking to palm it down, I really, really don't know. the third one then he's flapping. Looks like he's low in confidence. So yeah, probably the lowest rating I'm going to give whole season. Illan Meslier, not a good performance. And is it time for changing nets? I'm sure we'll probably see Carl Darlow or Alex Cairns go into nets against Harrogate. But then we'll look forward then to the Sheffield Wednesday game the following Sunday, whether Leeds United are going to change it up in net. So it'll be interesting one to see there. Moving on to right back, Jayden Bogle. Bit of a difficult day at the office, I thought, for Jayden Bogle. A couple of his passes were very sloppy on a poor pitch, it does have to be said, but a lot of wayward passes, overran the ball a couple of times and the ball was nicked off him. But did win a couple of his defensive duties as well, a couple of tackles at the back, tried to get Legion to come forward, and then he was involved then in the goal for Dan James when he cut it back across. So I'm going to go 6 out of 10 for Jayden Bogle. Probably not one of his best performances, but again, like a lot in this Leeds United side, much to see as we go through the player ratings, not a good performance by the whole squad. So a 6 out of 10 for me for Jayden Bogle. Moving on to the centre-half pairings, and we did see Pascal Struijk was injured in this game. So we've seen our captain, Ethan Ampadu, go into centre-back position, and we haven't seen that since last season. Since Ethan Ampadu has started the season, we've seen him play that midfield role. And to be honest with you, I didn't mind it when I seen Rodon and Ampadu together, because obviously last season were really, really solid at the back. That Welsh wall, very, very hard to break down, so I didn't really mind it. But looking back in hindsight, we were a complete disarray at the back. We were all over the place for the whole game, and we were very lucky that we didn't concede more. So first of all, yeah, Ethan Ampadu, a really, really mixed bag for him. Felt like as the captain, defensively, he was poor all over the place. Should have organised it a lot better. And his passing as well for me was completely below par. A lot of wayward passing from Ampadu, forcing it at times into the middle of the park and giving it away, inviting pressure back on, and just not the captain performance that you want when the backs are against the wall. Didn't really grab the game by the scruff of the neck. So a 6 out of 10 for me for Ethan Ampadu. Moving on then to Joe Rodon. He had a couple of shaky moments as well, like he did at the defence, and I think it was probably just a collective. The reason why it was the shaky moments, won a good couple of headers. His passing was okay at times, but again, on a bumpy pitch, a couple of them were a little bit wayward. So I'm going to go a 7 out of 10 for Joe Rodon. So that's probably the first time this season we've seen that centre-back pairing drop below that 7 out of 10 marks. Really the poor defensive performance by the whole back line for me. Moving on to Max Wöber, who did start left back. We obviously seen Sam Byram was feeling a little bit ill and breathing issues at the end of the Blackburn game. So it did look like a formality that Max Wöber would come on in left full. Obviously, we know the situation with Isaac Smith. He hasn't been playing. So it did look like a formality that Max Wöber would start at left full, and he did. And to be honest, guys, for me, I thought he was completely ineffective the whole game. We were essentially playing with 10 men out of that left-hand side. The first goal, he's caught. He's completely switched off. Kamara runs in behind him, doesn't track the run, and then he hasn't got the legs to get back. And again, it's between him and Meslier. Meslier makes the decision to come out. But for me, he was defensively poor all over the place as well, and then didn't really give us anything going forward either. Max Wöber, he was replaced then by Sam Byram, who seemed to give us a little bit more stability at the left full position. So a 5 out of 10 for me for Max Wöber. So not a great day at the office for him. Going into the midfield, El Tanaka and Joe Rotwell did start, as Ethan Ampadu did drop into centre half to replace Pascal Struijk. I do think if Struijk had been fit, we might have seen Ampadu start in midfield position, maybe partnering El Tanaka or Joe Rotwell. But again, for the first half, both of these were ineffective. We will start with El Tanaka first. Again, ineffective in the first half. Couldn't really get the grips with the game. He does what he does though. Tries to get about the pitch, try and pick up the ball, try and drive us forward. But again, it was very, very ineffective from El Tanaka. Just after the break then, we seen El Tanaka pick up his first goal for Leeds United with a sublime goal. Really, really brilliant goal, which was later to be overshadowed by what was to come. But again, he was always busy, got about the pitch and done his duty, and did try and create for Leeds United going forward. And that is the first goal we've seen for a Leeds United midfielder since Ilya Gruev in the playoff semi-final against Norwich. So we need to see more of that, more goals from midfield. Whoever starts, whether it's Ampadu, Tanaka or Rotwell, we need to see more goals coming from that position. So congratulations to El Tanaka on your first goal. It's just a pity it was overshadowed by the result. 7 out of 10 for El Tanaka. Moving on to Joe Rotwell. He tried to be busy, Joe Rotwell, but really, really not one of his best days for me. Didn't really get the grips of the game, didn't really get control of the midfield, which we didn't in the first half. Well below his usual self and the performance that we've come accustomed to see with Joe Rotwell. So 5 out of 10 for me. Very, very ineffective in the game, and probably one of his worst performances in a Leeds United shirt. Moving into that number 10 position, Brendan Aronson. Again, for me, he just looked absolutely wrecked. He still ran his socks off, gave everything he could in the tank, but he just looked absolutely wrecked. He was wasteful at times and didn't really create anything of real quality for us going forward. He was fouled a lot of times during the game and did win us a couple of free kicks, but other than that, again, like most of the Leeds United squad against Hull, very ineffective. Dan James, again, for me, this might be controversial, but I felt like Dan James was well below par again yesterday. He did get the goal, but even after the goal, he still struggled to be effective in the game for me. Really poor decision making. Kept coming back in on that left foot like what he did against Blackburn, trying to do that dinking left foot pass. It just didn't work for Dan James again yesterday. I felt like it was the game for Willie Gnonto to start out on that right-hand side, then bring Dan James on with 25, 20 minutes to go and use his pace as the Hull City defence was tired. So for me, yeah, DJ, not a great day at the office for him. So a 5 out of 10 for Dan James. And let's hope he can really turn his performance around, because it was a poor against Blackburn and it was poor against Hull City. So let's hope he can get back on it. Moving out to the left-hand side, Manar Solomon. He was brilliant again. That's really the only one for me on the pitch who really looked like he had any sort of quality. He always looked dangerous going forward. Gave Louis Coyle a really torrid time. He just couldn't get anywhere near him. And he was involved in creating the 2 goals. The one for El Tanaka, the cut back inside on the pass. And then the goal for Dan James as well, where he runs into the box, chops it back, brilliant ball across the box. Jaden Bogle cuts it back to the end to Dan James. So for me, yeah, an 8 out of 10 for Manar Solomon. Brilliant performance. And yeah, for me, he was the Leeds United man of the match. Joe Pirro, who did start up top, had a feeling it might have been Mateo Joseph that would have started, but he didn't. He went with Joe Pirro. He took his goal brilliantly well from obviously a poor pass out from the Hull City goalkeeper. Runs into the 18-yard box, smashes it straight across him. Great goal from Joe Pirro. But other than that, largely overall his performance again was very ineffective. Couldn't really get the grips with the game. Went missing for large parts. Would come into it for a couple of minutes and then he would go missing again. It felt like at times that we're essentially playing with 10, 9 men. Some of his performances that were just well below par against Hull City. Moving on to the substitutions, first one was Sam Boyden. We did see him replace Max Vober. I was happy to see that because I thought Vober was having a torrid time. I would have liked to see Isaac Smith, because obviously what we were told about Sam Boyden with his illness and breathing issues, I thought we might have seen Isaac Smith. Again, we didn't, and the questions still do remain over Isaac Smith. But Sam Boyden did come on. I thought he did okay. He won a lot of his headers. Definitely shored up that left-hand side. And again, for the third goal, he does win his header. He does what he could do. And then, yeah, Meslier in no man's land, and Leeds United do concede a third, but wasn't really able to help us going forward and was very ineffective to try and move us up the pitch. Again, Leeds United, we just kept giving the ball away and giving the ball away. So 6 out of 10 for Sam Boyden. We did make other substitutions. Gila Vogie did come on. I'm not going to rate him, lads. It's just not applicable because there wasn't enough time on the pitch for him. And the same thing with Mateo Jones. I think it's unfair to give him a score because he did come on very late. And again, in a game that seen it turn very quick. That is it for player ratings this week. We are back for the final point tonight at 8 o'clock. Only Leeds Bros, and imagine not being Leeds team up. We sip on a beer and we chat about the previous game, so make sure you pop in for that one. Loads and loads to dissect from what was a really frustrating performance again. Next up for Leeds United is an FA Cup game to Harrogate at Elland Road next Saturday, and that will be one and a chance to see a bit of rotation in the squad. Will we see Carl Darlow start, Alex Cairns? I hope so, and let's hope we see a little bit of rotation. So guys, that's it from Only Leeds Bros. We will chat to you later on the final point, and we'll see you all again soon. Have a good day.